Hello, everybody. Welcome to an uncaffeinated edition of Bill Roden on Sports. I'm here in an undisclosed location in Manhattan, holding it down on a Monday. Lot to talk about. I'm hype. I should say I never use that word. I know I got like an NFL. The NFL season began,
Right.
and we got Monday Night Football tonight. Tennis. Uh, Here holding it down with my co-host and friend in Brooklyn, the great Jamal Murphy. Murph, what's up?
What's up, Bill? I too am uncharacteristically uncaffeinated at the moment. I don't know what I was thinking, but I have a smoothie here, so maybe
Oh
that
wow.
maybe that'll do a little something for me.
Okay.
But yeah, no, last night uh, we were both at the Jets game, and then I ran over to see that final of the U.S. Open, which we had been covering. So I got to see Alcaraz finish the job. The 19-year-old Spaniard, Carlito.
Carlito.
Carlito got it done.
Carlito. Carlito. Man, yeah, yeah. We were there Friday. I had kind of sort of a whirlwind. I had on Thursday, I'd written this column for Anscape, ESPN's Anscape, and the column was about kind of coming off Serena and all that, and summing that up, and then Tiafoe's great match on Wednesday, I think. Right? I think didn't he have a Wednesday? Was it Wednesday? Then he played.
Well,
Uh,
he
no,
well he
no, maybe he played Tuesday. What
yeah,
was
Wednesday, because the match against Alcaraz was Friday, so it had to be Wednesday.
Wednesday? Yeah. So I guess so. I wrote a column for Anscape, and I just filed it on Thursday, talking about I talked to Martin Blackman, the general manager of development, blah 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 blah, and how Serena wasn't like didn't mark the end. It just marked like she had taken everything to such a high level and blah 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 blah, and Tiafo and blah 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 blah. And as soon as I filed it, a friend of mine in Baltimore said, "Oh, yeah, Bill, looking forward to seeing you tonight in Baltimore at this event," which I totally
Mm.
forgot about. And I was like, and this was like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday. I was like horrified. And so I, threw all my stuff in a car, and it doesn't take much. So I drove down to Baltimore for this event, which I was with, Lynn Elmore, who
Right. I
on the
saw
show
that.
before.
Saw
And
some I saw some pictures on Twitter of that.
oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So you never know, man.
Gets around quick, Bill.
I mean, what? It's like you can't really sneak places. I saw a picture of you. What the hell? Particularly if you're somewhere where you're not supposed to be.
It's over.
Man, you told me that blah 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 blah. But fortunately, so I drove down there. I drove down to Maryland. Was at the event Thursday. Then drove back because we were all we had to get back Friday to see if Tiafo could beat your boy Carlito,
Right.
who you had been talking about. I mean, you had been like raving about Carlito.
Right.
Like, man, you been now talking about Tiafo. It was a great story. And yeah, I don't know, man. This guy, so he said this guy Carlito was pretty good. And sure enough, I wouldn't say he kicked our boy's ass. I mean, it was like a tremendous, right? It was a 5-setter. It was like a
Yeah.
battle.
Yeah. Tiafo, I mean, I think he represented, I mean, he won the first set.
Yeah.
I thought and that's what I thought going in, that it would be at least an entertaining match because both were so athletic. You know what I mean? Both could get to any ball. Maybe no one more than Carlito, but Tiafo was, he had the ability to at least keep it close, and he did win the first set. Then he loses those next two sets, and we kind of think it's over.
Right.
But he really, he dug deep and won that fourth set, which I think was big, probably for him in the future too.
Yeah, that was because I was going back and forth with Anscape Sports Ed Guzman, kind of going back and forth, and because I said, remember there was the first set, and I think it was one point It was the first, maybe it was just before the tiebreaker. And man, this guy, Carlito, had this great exchange. And he got to some stuff, man, where I thought the point was over.
Right.
And this guy got to some stuff, man, and the crowd was just going, because the Tiafo got to something, and thought what he thought was the winning point. And then Carlito scrambled and got to it and fired it back. And the crowd just went bananas, they were like went berserk. I'm like, damn, this is gonna be a long night, man. We're gonna be out here forever.
Right.
So, but it was really great. Like you said, Tiafo, dug himself out that hole. He had the doldrums in second and third set. And then when he won fourth, I said, that's a victory.
Right.
That is a moral victory for him to come back, win fourth, and then fifth. He just, the guy just.
He didn't have enough for him. I mean, and remember, Alcaraz, the match before his match with Tiafoe was a 5-set thriller. It might even have been a better match, where he came from two sets to one down to beat, another highly ranked kid, Sinner. Right. And that was like the longest match in U.S. Open history. Like at least it ended later than any match had ever, like 3 a.m. or something like that. So that's where he was coming off. And then Tiafoe pushes him to another 5th set.
Right.
So it was kind of, I mean, he's young, he's 19. So I guess it's, I kind of was like, is he going to be tired for the final? But, 19-year-old, man.
Tiafoe a joke in his
right.
conference. He said, well, maybe I hope you guys will play this long match.
And they did.
He did. They played till 3 a.m. and this guy came back, man. So no, I think it was great. And then of course, I'll give you a lot of props. So we were over watching the Jets, actually watching the Ravens.
Right.
And I got there at halftime. All you kids out there who want to be journalists, don't show up at halftime because you have to stay in the rain to get your credential. But Lamar Jackson, I really was intrigued. Hey, I'm just happy that the NFL season is back. Right. We'll have Solomon Wilcox on. So when I say happy, I've got to kind of parse that. It was supposed to be cynical, but it was, NFL's back, and that's one of the things we talked about down in Baltimore about athletes and activism. When the idea of Kaepernick came up, and somebody in the audience was, how the hell can we support Kaepernick? You Negroes were like addicted to football. Nobody could miss a game. Nobody could even miss, everybody was like, including Black folks were like, addicted to NFL football. So people talk about, we're not going to watch anymore. And that shit lasted all but like a day.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. I mean, you're right. Everybody's addicted. It's not, obviously it's not just Black folks. Like everybody's addicted to football. I don't know what it is, man.
We should talk about that.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess it's that that primal, instinctive hit, physical. Violence. I don't know what. I don't know
legalized violence. Hell, man. Kaepernick maybe even had like a fantasy team.
I'm sure he does.
It's good to know. It was good to know your son. I thought that your son is playing flag football, which is a big. NFL is smart. Our friend Troy Vincent is behind that, but flag football is huge. Flag football is huge. And I was just thinking, had it been that huge, maybe when my daughter was coming up, I would have been. I felt good about letting her play flag football because it's big. I mean, flag football is huge.
Right, and and football is great. I mean, I played high school football. And it's even for other sports. I mean, it's basic athletic ability, athleticism, getting better, running, cutting, catching, hand. There's so much involved that even when you play other sports, playing that will help you. And flag football takes kind of the physicality out of it still, but it's still football, it's still fun. I was actually volunteer coaching also, so I'm getting my coach on, how to grab those flags.
Were you? You're an assistant coach?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love seeing it. Even up where I live, they've got these guys. They've got this is like real football. Like that. And I'm always curious to see the parents. Usually it's the guys. You have the head coach, then you have the guy because everybody plays football. Everybody thinks they're coach. I see all the fathers out there, arms folded,
Right.
like sitting there watching. And I'm sure they're, and if you're the head coach, you're immediately on the hot seat,
Right.
Because everybody knows more than you.
Right.
Unless you're like fucking Aaron Rodgers or some shit,
Right. Right.
So did you guys win? Or
No, so we're like in a training camp stages. That was the first practice of the year. So it was like training camp and just running through drills. Just try to give the kids confidence, Bill. That's all I'm out there doing. Just try to give them confidence.
Let's go. That's not a strategy. Let's go. That's great. What position is Kareem going to play?
I don't. Everybody wants to play quarterback. He told me he wants to play quarterback. I was like, we got to get out there and throw the ball there. We got to get your skills up.
Everybody wants to be a quarterback. It's funny. I told you, I saw it when I went out to. I think I started playing organized football in Pop Warner when I was. I think I must have been in 7th grade. Something. I went out for the Pop Warner team, and in Harvey, Illinois, we call the Harvey Colts. And I went out, and up until that, I've been playing street ball. Mm-hmm. And I always like guarding people, you said, I got you, we guard people. I like intercepting the ball.
Right.
So when it was time to go out for the team, I thought that since I guarded the offensive end, I said, I want to be a defensive end. And of course they love that because they said, who volunteers to do that? Right. But I thought being a defensive end, I was thinking of being a defensive back. And next thing I knew, I was like, yeah, you're over there. And I'm like on the line. I'm like, wait a minute.
You're in the trenches.
I'm in the trenches. I'm like, what the hell is this? That's like you at work still, but they put you in a blast furnace. And that's why I spent my entire career, playing. I was a defensive end of Pop Warner football. And then I played a little bit of offensive end, but I played defensive end. And actually, it's very good. Even when I went to high school, I played in high school, and I was a defensive end. In high school, I played defensive end, offensive high school. And then finally, when I went to college, went to Morgan, they said, no, man, those days are over, brother. And I was a wide receiver.
Right.
But once again, did not realize that Morgan, when I went to Morgan State, they were known for like 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So there was no such thing as wide receiver. And the first guy I saw on campus when I went there was Raymond Chester. And Raymond Chester was like, 6'4", 230. And right. I said, wait a minute. He said, yeah, I'm the receiver. I'm like, what? So I spent my first year playing wide receiver, but then that set my spring practice my sophomore year. I finally switched to defensive back. So I finally got to play defensive back. It was my sophomore year. It was the worst season I ever had in my life. It was awful. I started my sophomore year, and it was Jamal. It was an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. I must have gotten beaten every game. Every game. In fact, one of our old coaches, Brute Wilson, who'd been like on the legendary Morgan teams of the 40s, those kind of guys.
Right.
Boy, you gave up more touchdowns in 1 year than we gave up in 5 seasons, something like that.
Hey man, they threw you in the fire, man. They threw you in the fire. I'm sure you became better for it, Bill. I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I guess. Here I am doing Rose Fire. I mean, I had a good really good junior year, and
right,
senior. Anyway, but I then ended up playing flag football. Well, moved back, but no, flag football is fun. So good luck. Good luck. What's the name of the team?
Well, it's Bed-Stuy Sports Program. So, they create a program and then they have the kids and they break them up into teams later. So it's not like a travel situation yet.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck with that. I'm sure we'll be here. When does the season start?
In 2 weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, man. You're gonna have to give us, in addition to your weekly black quarterback rankings, you're gonna have to sort of keep us up to date of, how's the team doing, and more important, how's Kareem doing. You got good, the bad, the ugly. Is he starting? Is he the quarterback? Do they move him to, tight end, or is he blocking?
Right. Now I'm just trying to get him to focus on the next play. You know what I'm saying? He gets upset too much. You know what I'm saying? When he makes mistakes, we worry about the next play. Come on, let's go. Mistakes happen. Move on.
That's right. Well, it's going to be a great adventure. And it's great, football is fun, particularly at that level when you can play. I'm like saying if it's flag football, I would be a wide receiver in flag football because you can go across the middle with no
Oh
fear.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dance in the end zone. It's like, it's
Oh yeah.
wonderful.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I always try to stay out of the trenches. That was my main deal. I was like the skill positions, and I was big. I was one of the bigger guys on my high school team, but I was still playing like safety and like I wasn't messing with those trenches.
Yeah, well, that's tough. Although it did teach me about tackling, quote unquote, like I didn't want to do it. It's but that's good. But we'll have to have somebody on from the NFL to talk about their flag football initiative.
Yes, because even this Bed-Stuy sports program is sponsored by the NFL. They give out either Giants or Jets jerseys. Since we're in New York, we should probably switch to the Bills because that's the only New York team really.
I'll take the winning team. Although the Giants got a victory yesterday.
Yeah, that's true. Saquon showed up.
Yeah, so if the season could just end today,
exactly,
everybody would be happy except the Jets fans.
Except the Jets. Well, we knew that was coming. We knew the Jets were coming, and we knew Lamar. We knew Lamar was coming into town. So
yeah, Lamar. I guess I was intrigued. Because I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan. I think that for this whole black quarterback thing to somewhat be resolved, because there's always this undercurrent. Remember we talked about the last podcast about the whole the watch phrase they use, the catchphrase they use is running around. Right. All the analysts talk about how these guys, if you got one of those guys who can run around, and that's always to me cold.
Right.
For just kind of street ball, black guys just out there running around like in the jungle,
right.
Undisciplined, just making plays. And what I realized last night I was thinking about is that basically what it is, it's like white coaches are out, the inference that, well, we can't coach that.
Right.
That's just guys out there, making these plays we can't coach,
Which is funny because when after the game yesterday, and Lamar Jackson, we were at the press conference at Lamar Jackson's press conference, and he kind of referenced something like that. Remember, someone asked him if he he threw a no-look pass, on one of his touchdowns because it did look like that on the replay, but he was like, no, he was like, no, I looked. He was like, I'm not playing street ball out there.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was very. I thought that was very telling.
Right.
I'm not out there playing street ball.
Right.
Like just throwing shit up and not looking and
right.
Eyes closed. So I just think that if a guy like Lamar Jackson, even more so than Pat Mahomes or Russell Wilson or the acceptable, I call them the civil rights black quarterbacks, the Martin Luther King boy. Oh, we
right. The nonviolent black QBs.
Yeah, the nonviolent black QB. Right. The non-Malcolm X, anybody but Malcolm X.
Right.
And I think that Lamar kind of, to me, epitomizes that. Everything from the way he looks and the way he talks and all that. He's just very kind of real,
Right.
And so I think if that guy could be holding, that would be a lot of people's greatest nightmare. He's holding the Lombardi trophy over his, it was the confetti coming down. I think that would, I don't know if it ended, because everybody would then say, oh, yeah, but can he do it again next year?
Right.
But I do think that for that particular style of play, that would sort of be the epitome of what I think about when I was talking about the black quarterback, like sort of the Marlon Briscoe, guys who are running around, making plays and all that kind of stuff. So I was eager to see him and see what he said also, because, he basically, to his credit, said, I'm done negotiating.
Right.
I'm done negotiating. He wanted X number of money guaranteed. I think we even have a sound clip.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody
on Instagram. Check out Bros Pod on Instagram. We got his response to Diana Rossini's question about whether he had turned down $250 million guaranteed. And remember, we talked to her afterwards, and I think she might have misphrased the question and really wanted to ask him whether he just turned down the $250 million contract. Right. Because when he said she asked him 250 million guaranteed. He said he was like, guaranteed?
Yeah, yeah. She said no.
And that's been the big thing because of the Deshaun Watson contract. He had a $250 million contract that was all guaranteed, which is unprecedented in the NFL, really. So I guess Lamar's trying to get that. The actual report that came out was that they guaranteed 133 million of the 250 million was guaranteed at the signing. I think that's even less than what Kyler Murray got guaranteed. I'm going to check that right now.
Yeah. And I respect. There are two things I respect. And we'll get the young brother you met in the press box who writes for. What does he write for? He writes for that business.
Sportico.
Yeah. We were talking about that. In fact, I want to follow up with a piece about, Lamar represents himself.
Right.
He doesn't have an agent per se, although his mother is a licensed agent. And
she is. I didn't know that. See, you don't get the whole story. I mean, people are like, oh, his mother's representing him.
He's just running around.
He's just running around, and mom running around looking at contracts.
He's just out there in the kitchen.
She don't know what she's doing. She's just a regular mom. She probably never seen a contract in her life. That's who's representing him. Like, she's a certified agent.
Yeah, she's a certified agent.
Come on.
Yeah.
Man.
So they and I could just imagine the conversations they've got, just as your mother and your business.
Yeah, which is tough. That's tough. Yeah. I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah. Well, but I think that this season for Lamar, because we've been joking there that he's going to be under scrutiny every series, not just every game, but every series. Touchdown, the interceptions, So I'm pulling for Baltimore. I just hope that they get through the season. Right. Last year for them was just terrible, for injuries and all that. Right. What I am excited about is since this is the football game, the first game of the season, your annual, it was a big hit last year. Your annual black quarterback, your weekly black quarterback rankings. We all look forward to that, and we have all but one in the books, right? We have
all but two. We got a black quarterback matchup tonight. You got Seattle, who is Geno Smith.
Oh boy,
Geno Smith versus Russell Wilson in Denver.
Yeah, that'll be fascinating. I mean, right on the surface, it looks like one of the great mismatches of all time.
Yes.
But we'll see. So, did you do a ranking based on Sunday?
Just based on what we saw week one in the league. And before I get to that, I just mentioned Kyler Murray, his signing bonus. Kyler Murray actually got $103 million completely guaranteed at signing. So the 133 for that was reported that was offered to Lamar Jackson will actually be $30 million more than Kyler. So I'll just clear that up. So
and I guess he's thinking, and particularly you look at that game yesterday,
right?
I'm $30 million better. I'm more than 30.
At least, yeah, that's nothing. That's nothing. Yeah, that's nothing. Right. You're not telling me anything with that. So, yeah, and like you mentioned, Lamar had a great, very good game yesterday, but he did not get the number one spot in this week's black quarterback rankings, and that has to go to one of I was gonna make it a joke, one of the nonviolent. Non-violent black youth, but it's all good. It's all good. Pat Mahomes.
Oh yeah.
Check out, he's number one, and check out these numbers, man. 30 for 39.
Wow.
360 yards.
Wow.
5 TDs.
Oh my God.
No interceptions. A quarterback rating for the game of 144. Okay, so I think he's trying to reclaim his spot. Everybody's talking about Josh Allen.
Right.
Whoever else you want to talk about, Deshaun, Jack, whatever.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes is like, no. And he loses. Remember, he lost Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins, and people question, he doesn't have his number one guy. He comes out the first game against Arizona and Kyler Murray, 360 yards, 5 TDs.
Wow, 5 TD. Who leaves Tyreek Hill? Oh, Tyreek caught a couple. I guess we'll get to that. Yeah, so Pat Mahomes is number one.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes number one. Number two, Oh, another friend of ours, a guy that you gotta love to some extent. Jameis.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
I love Jameis.
Jameis, 23 of 34, 269 yards, two TDs, no interceptions, 111 rating. And remember last year before he got hurt, Sean Payton was the coach, and
Yeah,
remember he was like throwing like 15 passes a game. They kind of had the reins on him,
right.
and it looks like the reins have been taken off. They're letting him air it out, and look what he's doing.
Yeah, well, I hope, yeah, that was his big problem. I guess he needed that one season remediation
Mm,
because he was down there in Tampa, with Bruce Arians, who wants to air it out, but he was
right,
airing out, and the defense was catching the ball almost as much as the offense.
right, right. That's
So
true. That is true.
yeah, but I'm pulling. James is another guy I'm pulling for. I'm pulling for James too.
Right.
That's good. So he's number two.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good yesterday. Number three, we just talked about Lamar Jackson. He was 17 for 30 against the Jets, 213 yards, three TDs, one interception at the end. Remember that? 98.4 rating. So a very, very, more than solid performance for Lamar.
Right. We joked after the interception, the guys, there's one deep,
Yeah. There goes 10 million guaranteed right there.
so he's gonna have to go up and down, up and down, up and down, where they're like, gauging how much money is. So it's gonna be a long, it'll be a fun season, but long with fun for him. We'll have his, so he's three.
He's three. Number four, Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah,
he's getting a lot of publicity. He's been looked at as a guy that's supposed to take a step this year. Put himself up in the upper echelon of quarterbacks, and he looked pretty good yesterday. 18 of 32, 243 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but he did rush for 90 yards in a TD. So that he's that dual threat guy. He's kind of close to Lamar. Lamar didn't run much yesterday. But 90 yards on the ground, 243 yards in the air for Jalen Hurts. No turnovers.
No turnovers. That was good.
Yeah, in a win. Number five, this is my honorary brother, Tua.
Oh yeah, you got to include that. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what he thinks, but you're an honorary brother,
and
that is an honor. So don't get it twisted for whoever. 23 of 33, 270 yards, one TD, no interceptions, 104 rating. Not bad in a win over Mac Jones, who he outplayed Mac Jones.
What?
Can you believe it? Can you believe it? He outplayed Mac Jones.
Who Mac Jones, who taught Cam Newton how to play quarterback, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, good.
So that's number five. Number six, your brother will be happy. Justin Fields with a big win against they went in as an underdog against San Francisco, even though they were home. It was terrible conditions.
Awful.
The rain was ridiculous. But Justin Fields, he played a steady game, 8 of 17, only threw 17 passes, 121 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception, but an 85.7 rating. Very solid, and most importantly, got that win.
Yeah, that's most important. I saw the clips of them sliding in the water,
right.
Soldiers Field.
Right.
It's a kid's game.
Yeah, it's a kid. Definitely, it's a kid's game. And like I said this last episode, I'm looking. I like Fields, man. Something about him. I think he, I like his skill level first of all, but it looks like a leader to me. He can do it. He can hurt you a lot of different ways. So I think, even though the Bears not supposed to be good at all, I'm looking for a pretty good season from Justin Fields, and then next year people will look at him as one of the top, potential top guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number next, I think this is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7, Kyler Murray. We talked about him in a loss to Mahomes. Mahomes totally dominated him. But he wasn't terrible. 22 of 34, 193 yards, 2 TDs, no interceptions, 99.3 rating. So he was still solid individually.
Get that guaranteed money back.
Yeah. No, you can't do that. Can't do that. Get the money. Get that money. Number 8, Jacoby Brissett. How about him?
Oh, yeah.
Filling in for Deshaun Watson. Got a big win over Baker Mayfield. Obviously the ex-Browns quarterback. For Carolina. Brissett, he's steady. He can run a team. 18 for 34, 147 yards, a TD, no interceptions, 74 rating, not bad.
Yeah, man.
Next, you got I think it's 9. Trey Lance.
Oh boy.
Didn't come up too good against Justin Fields, like we talked about. He's taking over for Garoppolo.
Who's still there? Who they signed just in case.
Yeah, just
Jimmy,
in
why
case.
why don't you hang around for a season, Jimmy?
Yeah, and we talked about the bad conditions. I guess we can give him somewhat of an excuse. First ever start, those kind of conditions, but 13 for 28, not that great. 164 yards, no TDs, but an interception, only a 50 rating, but he did rush for 54 yards. So we'll see if he improves next game. He doesn't have much time because they're trying to contend.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's on a very short leash.
Right. Unfortunately. Yeah. So, he has to step his game up next week. And then last but not least, for yesterday at least, Dak Prescott.
Oh, poor Dak.
Poor Dak. Not only was he just 14 for 29, 134 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, a measly 47 rating, but then he breaks his thumb.
Oh man, was that the injury?
Yeah, and he's out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh my God. Oh man. Oh, poor Dak, man. Well, he's not poor. I mean, he's just.
No, he's not poor. He got his money.
He got his money. But man, so now that Dallas, I'm sure the Dallas fans are probably just just outraged,
Yeah, I heard reports that they were throwing garbage at him as he left. I mean, because remember, he did have a poor game prior to the injury. He played most of the game. So yeah, not a good look. There were boos in the crowd for just Dallas in general. They lost 19-3.
Wow. To 44-year-old Tom Brady.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But good for Todd Bowles, who took over for Tampa Bay. Wasn't sure how they were going to look, but defensively, I mean, he's a defensive guy. Defensively, they look great. Ball control, offense. Maybe Tom could win another one. Yeah. And maybe Bowles gets one.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. It's just his second time around the block. First time with the Jets. Anybody should be forget. Anybody who should automatically get one more turn.
Yeah. Now you look about. Think about it. When he was there, it wasn't great, but they were about 7-9, 8-8. That looks great to what we're seeing since he left.
Yeah. So that's good. So that was good. So we got to recap: Mahomes number 1.
Yep.
Jameis number 2. Lamar number 3. Jalen Hurts 4. Tua, honorary soul brother, 5. Yes. Justin Fields 6. Kyler Murray 7. Get back to the guarantee. Jacoby Brissett, who I like, another guy, very nonviolent, but very, very, very solid. Everybody likes Jacoby.
Yes.
Number 9, Trey Lance. Number 10, Dak Prescott. And then tonight we've got we've got 2 more. We've got Russell Wilson and our guy
Geno
Smith. Which is amazing. I guess the headline here too. We'll have to have Jason, my colleague at Anscape on, who wrote Jason Reed.
He just write a Black QB book.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll have to have him on. Talk about his Black QB book. A sequel to mine, by the way. But
what was that? Was that Third in a Mile?
Third in a Mile. Yes, Third in a Mile. Yeah. But he did a great job on that. So that'll be 12 black quarterbacks.
12, yeah. And Dak will be injured, so we'll see 11 for a while. Yeah, and then we'll see how long Trey Lance lasts and Geno Smith.
Yeah, right there. This is a tenuous list. I mean,
I'm sure
12.
Right, and I'm sure there's a lot of 10. And it's 12 out of 32. So
there's room to grow. I mean,
right.
I'm looking for the quarterbacks to look like the defensive secondary.
Right. I want to see at least 50%. At least I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah, so we'll see. Well, good job on that. Good job on week 1, and then of course we'll end the way we began. We both left the stadium. I was going to go with you to the U.S. Open, but the track, by the time I got to Harlem, I said, you know what? Forget
it was a killer. I mean, I had second thoughts. It was like traffic the whole way.
Yeah,
I was like, what? And then finally I got into Queens. So I was like, okay. I was monitoring the score to make sure it was still worth it the whole way.
right,
Once Rude won that second set over Alcaraz, I was like, okay, I'll probably be able to make at least the fourth set, which is what happened.
right. And I guess the crowd was very appreciative.
Oh yeah, the crowd loves him. They had a lot of love for Rude also, which I surprising. But I mean, Carlito, the 19-year-old prodigy, everybody loves him. He's very charismatic.
Yeah,
So he wins his first, and I felt good about being there too, because I mean, obviously we never know what's going to happen. As I was telling you before, there were people trying to bring up Nadal with him, and then his coach was like, "Wait a second, Nadal's won 22, and Carlitos won 1, so he has a long way to go." So thanks for that reminder. But it will be interesting if he does. It'd be good. It's nice for me to to say, okay, I was there for that first one, and we'll see what he does. If he turns out to be great, there might be many more of these.
yeah, yeah. So his first Grand Slam, and
Right.
we'll see. He's got,
20
all the
something to
other,
go.
yeah, 22 more to go. I just wonder what, and then what do you think about Tiafoe? Because I'm thinking,
Yeah.
he's 24 in tennis. He's almost become
That's like,
middle age.
that's middle age pretty much in tennis. And he knows that. He knows he has some ground to cover. He's talked about, finally maturing. It took him a while to mature, but he's here now. And he just needs to keep up this level. If he plays at the level he did, he'll get one. And he promised the crowd. Remember after the match, he said he felt like he let people down, and that he's going to win one of these. So we'll see. But I think at the very least, he provides excitement for the sport. I'm glad to see a brother out there represented, and I just hope he can keep, stay at this level where he's at least a contender in every slam that he enters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're looking at that, of course. So we don't look at tennis again until back to U.S. Open, maybe Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Maybe Wimbledon. But now it's like football, and then can Dusty get one in baseball?
Yes.
Yes. And can Dave Roberts get one? Kind of like the Black Watch.
Yep.
And then before you know it, we'll be watching the NBA guys run around.
They run around, and they'll be running around soon. Before first of all, I don't know the exact date, but I'm sure basketball training camp probably starts in a couple of weeks. We're not even gonna. And then we got KD not wanting to be in Brooklyn, but he's in Brooklyn. Man, I mean, imagine that's the difference between like the Nets and the Knicks. Like imagine he did that to the Knicks, like asked to be traded.
Right.
New York would be killing him.
I know.
But in Brooklyn, it's like nobody knows.
Well, let's go get a latte. Whatever, KD. You put yourself in this mess. You could have been in San Francisco, brother.
Exactly.
You could have been in San Francisco winning titles, man. Imagine had he stayed in Golden State now. He would have at least 2 more rings. Well, at least another.
Yeah, at least. Well, but they actually still got a ring.
They still got a ring despite you. So there you have it. Well, good, man. So glad we did this Monday Night Tonight, and eager to hear the updates from flag to flag football world.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question: is it all black, or is Bed-Stuy gentrified? Is it a gentrified team?
It's some gentrification. It's less gentrified than the neighborhood, So it's mostly black.
Oh, okay. I guess people say, well, we have our limits,
Yeah, exactly.
Playing flag football. Now, is it co-ed?
Yes, definitely co-ed.
Good.
Definitely. Some very, very impressive girls out there.
Good. Yeah, that's the great thing about flag football. You can kind of, mix all that. Maybe that will be the quarterback.
Yeah, very possible. Very possible.
Yeah. All right. Well, good, man. Maybe you can let people know how they could subscribe to us and all that, and then we'll let everybody get on with their day. Get on with having a great week.
Yes, of course. Thanks for listening. Keep listening. Find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, etc. Follow us on social media. Like I said, we've been posting a lot of stuff on Instagram at BrosPod, and of course on Twitter also at BrosPod.
All right. All right, everybody. You know, the NFL season is here. Well, everybody in Giants land is happy. They're 1-0.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And Saquon looks healthy. I mean, that's huge. Let's see how long he can stay. You know, football for a running back, such a brutal sport. Any minute, you know, something can happen. So,
flag football is probably the only place where you can be a thriving running back.
But you know, then you got to watch the non-contact injuries.
Yeah. Well, in flag football, there's a whole art of like stopping people and grabbing the flag. So it
Yes.
get a little physical.
Yeah. Sneaky physical.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, listen, good luck, everybody. Enjoy week 1 and, you know, continue to stay safe. You know, get that vaccination, get the new vaccine, get whatever vaccine.
Yeah, the boosters, new boosters out.
You get the new. I got the old booster. I got my second booster in July, but now there's a new booster. I got to get that other booster.
I was walking through Jet Stadium yesterday. I was like, oh yeah. I need that next booster.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah in that place, man.
Right.
All right, and then we're gonna work on a feature sometime soon. We'll maybe bring you in. Working on a day in the life. The day in the life feature. It kind of shows the day in the life of a NFL stadium game day, because there's a lot going on. You know, there's a beehive, as they say, a beehive of activity.
Yes, so, behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, so we'll do a little bit of that. So, all right, have a great week and continue to pray. God bless.